Hey everyone, and welcome to another World of Warcraft Dragonflight Alpha video. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the talent trees for the final Warlock specialization, Demonology. If you haven't seen my first Warlock talent tree video, which was for Destruction, I'd encourage you to check that out as I do a fairly in-depth overview of the class side of the talent tree in that video. We're going to kind of be skipping over that in this video in order to save time and mainly focusing on the demonology side of the tree. As we go through and we take a look at these talents, we're going to look at everything that's there, and we're going to do this as we kind of work our way into creating a build that's going to be good for questing, leveling, and solo play out in the open world. Before we get started, please throw a thumbs up or a like on the video if you're enjoying this series or if you like this video, and let me know in the comment section below what you think about the series and whether or not you want to see more content like this from me beyond the alpha. I am definitely using your feedback to help me make that decision. Okay, so we are spec'd Demonology. Now, real quick, this is the last talent tree that we're looking at. Destruction was a specialization that I was kind of bored with. It was the one I played most of the time on Warlock, and I just kind of got bored with it. The talent tree that they added into Dragonflight so far has made me really excited to play the specialization again. Affliction, I've dabbled in off and on. The talent tree there was interesting, but there seemed to be a lot of bugs, so I'm not really sure how to feel about it at the moment. Demonology is what I have been playing primarily towards the end of BFA and for the duration of time that I did play Shadowlands, which wasn't a whole lot. But Demonology is one that I definitely started to get into much more. So in the talent tree, it looks like we're going to start out with Curses of Enfeeblement, just like all the other Warlocks that we've looked at so far. We're going to jump into the spell book and take a look at what we get. As we go through this and also the talent tree, I'm going to assume that you have a decent working knowledge of Demonology Warlock, and I'm not going to go through every single spell in depth. Mostly just going to be taking a look at the things that are either new or the things that I need a refresher on. All right, so we have our Corruption, we've got Create Health Stone, we've got our Soul Well and a Curse of Exhaustion, Demonic Circle, Drain Life, Eye of Kilrog, we've got our Fear, Health Funnel, Ritual of Doom, Ritual of Summoning, we've got Shadow Bolt, Shadow Bulwark for our pets, we've got Soul Stone, Subjugate Demon, Summon Demon, Unending Breath, Unending Resolve. And then we have our passive that gives us the curses. We've got Soul Leech and Soul Shards. And the Demonology side, we've got Hand of Gul'dan for our nice little imp summoning. We have Demonic Core, so when our wild imps expend all their energy or are imploded, you have a chance to absorb their life essence, gaining you a stack of Demonic Core. When your summoned Dreadstalkers fade away, they have a 100% chance to give you a Demonic Core. Demonic Core is going to reduce the cast time of Demon Bolt by 100%, max 4 stacks. So we're probably going to get Demon Bolt, I would imagine, somewhere early on in the talent tree. And then we have our Mastery Demonologist, increases the damage done by our demons. All right, so we're going to jump in to the class side of the tree, and we're going to build this out. I have a pretty good idea of kind of how I want to build this. So we are going to go ahead and do that. All right. Grab those. Grab that. I believe we've got 2 points left, and those 2 points are going to go in Fell Armor. And then again, I feel like I missed. Oh, so we got some changes. Okay, so Shadow Fury. Okay, we're gonna put 2 points here. 1, 2, 1. All right, so that is our class talent tree that we're gonna use for right now. It's the one that I think is pretty solid. We are skipping a bunch of stuff over here that looks interesting because it's not yet implemented, so we can't test it out or see if it's any good. Okay, so wow, this is a very interesting tree we've got going on for demonology over here. It's very wide on the top, which is interesting. So we're going to go through and we are going to take a look first at the active abilities we can pick up, which are going to be the ones in these boxes here. Then we're going to look at our choice nodes, which are the ones with the arrows. And then finally, we'll look at the true passives, the circle nodes here, as we go through and create the build. So we have to pick up Call Dread Stalkers, totally makes sense. Key to demonology rotations. We've got Demon Bolt, which I think we're definitely going to want to pick up. I'm just going to go ahead and put a point into that. And then we also have Implosion, which is a staple of demonology, but I would probably... I don't want to say I'd avoid it, but I mean, if I don't have to take the point in it, I generally just like to keep my imps out. I don't like to explode them. When I play demonology, I just want to have as many demons as possible. And Implosion is definitely a useful ability. Okay, don't take this the wrong way. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying that you shouldn't get it. I'm just saying, like, for me, I just like every time I'm like, I don't wanna explode my imps. So I'd rather just let them expire and keep summoning as many as possible because that's cool. All right, that's cool. It's fun. So we may not take Implosion. I don't know. We'll see. Then we have Power Siphon. So this is 30-second cooldown. It's going to sacrifice up to 2 imps, generating 2 charges of demonic core that cause Demon Bolt to deal additional damage. So that is fairly useful. I'd rather sacrifice them this way to get a big Demon Bolt. Then we have Grimoire Felguard. So this will let us summon a Felguard for 17 seconds for 1 soul shard on a 2-minute cooldown. We've got Doom, so this inflicts impending doom on the target, dealing a bunch of shadow damage after 17 seconds, and it will also generate a soul shard. So most of the time, whatever we kill should die before Doom goes off. Next, we have Nether Portal, so 3-minute cooldown. It does cost a soul shard and has a 2.1 second cast time. Tear open a portal to the Twisting Nether for 15 seconds. Every time you spend soul shards, it will also command demons from the nether to come out and fight for you. So generally speaking, I don't want to pick up a 3-minute cooldown for leveling. I'd rather have something I can use much more frequently, much more often. But we'll see what happens. We also have Summon Demonic Tyrant. So this is a 1.5-minute cooldown. It's going to summon a demonic tyrant to increase the duration of your lesser demons by 15 seconds and increase the damage of all your other demons by 15% while damaging your target. This is another good ability that I just, if I can skip playing with this ability, I probably would. So we'll see. We'll see. I think I would take this for sure over the Nether Portal. So... And I know I'm like crapping on a lot of good demonology abilities, but like really all I want to do is summon a bunch of stuff and then just passively kill everything. So if we could do that, that's probably what I'm going to be looking to do. And then we do have down here, Hold This For Me. This is not yet implemented. It's a 45-second cooldown. Your Felguard hurls his axe towards the target location. You know what? We do have Imp, Voidwalker, Fell Hunter, Syad, and Felguard. So I forgot to mention that. So we do have Felguard. That should be our default pet a lot of the time, depending. But okay, so our Felguard will hurl his axe towards the target. It erupts when it lands, dealing Shadow Flame damage until canceled to nearby enemies. While unarmed, your Felguard's basic attacks deal damage to all nearby enemies and attack 50% faster. That's kind of cool. Also, I like the name of the talent. That's pretty sweet. So 45-second cooldown, and we don't know how long it lasts because it's not yet implemented. Honestly, I think I like that, but it's not implemented, so we can't test it out. All right, let's take a look at our choice nodes. So here we have a choice between the awesome Summon Vile Fiend. So this is a 45-second cooldown, 1 soul shard, and it summons a Vile Fiend that fights for you. Or we have Soul Strike. So 10-second cooldown, command your Felguard to strike into the soul of the enemy, dealing shadow damage and generating a soul shard. So we either have a soul shard generator or we have a soul shard spender that gives us an additional demon. And then here we have Bile Scourge Bombers, 30-second cooldown, 2 soul shard cost. This is going to open a portal where a bunch of Bile Scourge will come out and deal AoE damage. Or we have Demonic Strength, so 1 minute cooldown, infuse your Felguard with Demonic Strength, and command it to charge your target and unleash a Fellstorm that will deal 400% increased damage. So 1 minute cooldown here is okay for questing and leveling. And then as far as the Bile Scourge Bombers is concerned, it just depends on if that's something we want to spend soul shards on, because a 30-second cooldown is pretty solid for a DPS cooldown we're going to use for questing and leveling. All right, next up, we've got one more. So way down here at the bottom, we have a choice between Demonic Consumption. Your demon commander now drains life from your demon servants to empower himself. I like that we don't have to pick that. And then Wilfred's Sigil of Superior Summoning. Every soul shard you spend reduces the cooldown of Summon Demonic Tyrant by X amount of time. So looking at the actives and looking at the choice nodes that we have, it doesn't pull me in a super strong direction, honestly. I think like hold this for me is kind of, where I'm kind of looking, but there's just so many passives here and not a whole lot of actives. So we're going to have to get into passives and kind of see what really happens. So let's go ahead and do that. So we have up here in the top, on the top row, when your Dreadstalkers charge into battle, their bite now hits all targets within 8 yards and deals more damage. So this is 1 point to make your Dreadstalkers AoE, or to just make them deal 25% more damage. I do like that. It gives you some AoE viability. You do still have your Hand of Gul'dan, which does some AoE as well. But that's nice for 1 point. Then over here, your Felguard deals 10% more damage and takes 10% less damage. So just boost your Felguard. Super cool. When your summoned Dreadstalkers fade away, they increase the damage of your Demon Bolt by 10% for 8 seconds. All right, over here, Dread Bite causes the target to take 20% additional Shadow Flame damage from you for the next 12 seconds. Okay. Hand of Gul'dan has a chance to generate a charge of Demonic Core. Your Dreadstalkers attacks have a 10% additional chance to trigger an additional, or 10% chance to trigger an additional Dread Bite. Okay. Fellstorm and Dread Bite deal additional damage. And then reduce the cooldown of Fellstorm by 10. All right, let's go ahead real quick and let's switch over to our Felguard. All right, so we've got Fellstorm here. This is his basically AoE, his spin to win ability. So this causes Fellstorm and Dreadbite. So Dreadbite is our Dreadstalker's ability to deal more damage. And this reduces the cooldown of Fellstorm by 10. So that's going to convert it into a 20-second cooldown that he can use. That's pretty cool as well. So lots of good stuff there. I'm not pulled in a particular direction as of right now. I do think we want to grab like just 10% damage and 10% damage reduction for our Felguard. Seems really good. The Dreadstalker AoE plus increased damage seems really good to me as well. I think Hand of Gul'dan giving us a chance to generate a charge of Demonic Core is pretty good as well. But let's see where we want to continue to go first. I'm okay with taking this top, section here, but let's see where we want to go in the tree next. So if we head over to the left, we can get Implosion, we can get Power Siphon, and then we've got a chunk of passives here. So this one, the chance of receiving a Demonic Core from a Wild Imp is increased by 5 or 10% when imploded. Every soul shard spent on Hand of Gul'dan increases the damage of your next call of Dreadstalkers by 4%. And Shadow Bolt increases the damage of your Demon Bolt by 7%, stacking up to 4 times in this last 20 seconds. Okay, so nice little chunk there. We have a little section here. You passively summon a wild imp to fight for you every 12 seconds and have a 5% chance to also summon an additional demon to fight for you for 15 seconds. So I do like that. Like I said, I just like to generate all the demons and kind of go from there. And that is tied to Hand of Gul'dan, giving you a chance to generate a charged demonic core, which I think is also really good. Okay. Then here we have Shadowbolt has a 10% chance to make your next Call Dreadstalkers cost 2 fewer soul shards and have no cast time. So I do like that. Summoning a wild imp has a chance to summon an imp gang boss instead. When imploded, an imp gang boss will summon a wild imp. So that's super cool if you're going to implode your imps. Which we may still end up doing. We'll see. Doom deals 3% increased damage for each pet you have active. Again, like I don't really think we need Doom. Call Dreadstalkers has a chance to summon an additional Dreadstalker. Okay. So right now I'm liking the passively summoning an imp. I'm liking the soul shard spent on Hand of Gul'dan because we should be spamming that. And then Hand of Gul'dan having a chance to give us a demonic core for a demon bolt is also really nice. I'm also liking the Shadow Bolt has a chance to make your next Call Dreadstalkers cost less. The additional Dreadstalker is nice. Hand of Gul'dan deals 5% additional damage and has a 5% chance per soul shard spent of refunding a soul shard. Also nice. So we've got our Grimoire Felguard. Each time Fellstorm deals damage, it increases the damage the target takes from you and your pets by 2% for 8 seconds, up to 10%. So we are going to get some spinnies from that. That'll be nice. And then Shadow Bolt and Demon Bolt have a 3% chance to reset the cooldown of Call Dreadstalkers. There's like a lot going on here, so let's go for this. And then I think we do want to get into this area over here. Let's go with Fellstorm and Dreadbite dealing additional damage right now. We still need to spend 2 more points. So when our summoned Dreadstalkers fade away, they increase the damage of your Demon Bolt by 10%. And Dreadstalkers fading away gives us the guaranteed demonic core to cast Demon Bolt for free. So this is kind of just like a 10% increase on Demon Bolt every time we're guaranteed to get a core, which is okay. That goes into Implosion. Dreadbite causes the target to take 20% additional Shadow Flame damage. We got 2 points to spend, and I think I kind of want to pick up maybe Summon Vile Fiend and Carnivorous Stalkers. But I'm not sure. It might be From the Shadows and Fellmite instead. I think we have access to everything we want over on this side right now. Let's check our bottom tier here. So we have Nether Portal, which like I said, I kind of would have avoided. Let's see what it's connected to. Maybe that'll change my mind. So increase the duration of Nether Portal by 10. So 25 seconds, probably not necessary. When Nether Portal ends, you summon a Pit Lord that gains power based on how many soul shards were spent. Okay. I mean, this seems really cool for dungeon bosses and stuff like that. But I mean, a 3-minute cooldown and then having to play the soul shard spending minigame and everything else in open world content is just When your wild imps expire or die, your other demons are inspired and gain 1% additional damage, stacking up to 10 times. Okay, so I'm not super worried about this chunk here. Okay. Then in the middle here, so we've got Summon Demonic Tyrants, and we've got Summoning Your Demonic Tyrant instantly generates. It says 3 soul shards, but this is 2 points, so I wonder if it's 5 soul shards. And then we have the tweaks to it here. In the middle, we have Shadow Bolt and Demon Bolt deal 2% additional damage per demon you have summoned. Wow, really? They stuck that in between these two. That is annoying. I'd probably get Summon Demonic Tyrant, though. Because, again, this is going to extend the duration of your current demons. That's probably the direction we're heading. Over here, Hand of Gul'dan has a 5% chance to cast a second time on your target for free. Your Felguard deals additional damage. Soul Strike now deals 25% of its damage to nearby enemies. So that's if we were going to pick up Soul Strike here. While your Felguard is active, your Wild Imps and Dreadstalkers have increased haste and deal additional damage. Okay, so that is our... Yeah, so our Felguard is basically going to be out all the time. And then when your Wild Imps cast Firebolt, you gain an application of Stolen Power. After you reach 100 applications, your next Demon Bolt deals increased damage, and your next Shadow Bolt deals increased damage. So yeah, I think we're headed over, like, middle to right side is kind of where we're headed. So let's go ahead and pump up our Felguard a little bit more here. Okay, so let's passively summon an Imp, and let's increase the damage of our next call Dreadstalkers. I think that's where we're going to end this side of the tree. So we're going to swing back over here. All right, we're going to grab that. We're going to grab that. We've got 6 points left to spend. We're going to go there and there. And we got 1 point left. So let's grab Soul Strike. Okay, so now Felguard deals additional damage. We've got the Felguards increase our Wild Imps and Dreadstalkers. We got 2 points left. You know, I'd love to try this hold this for me thing, but it's not yet implemented, so we won't go there. I think we want to try... Let's go with Stolen Power and Summon Demonic Tyrant, maybe? Yeah, let's go with this. We're going to work on this. We're going to try this out. We're going to see if we can do this without Implosion and without Summon Demonic Tyrant. We are going to get 5 more points in this tree, so we would be able to pick up like this, probably Summon Demonic Tyrant. We'll pick this up. That'll be 1, 2, 3 points, and then we'll have, 2 more points where maybe we could put them into here, or most likely I'd probably put them into here. Shadow Bolt and Demon Bolt deal additional damage per demon you have summoned, but we'll see. So let's apply these changes and take a look. So we do have our Soul Strike. Let's see, we've got Call Dreadstalkers, Demon Bolt, Dimensional Rift. We've got our Interrupt. We've got our Dark Pact, Burning Rush, and our Demonic Gateway. So, as expected, we don't have a ridiculous amount of abilities here. We did, skip like Implosion, which is typically on the bar. All right, so let's see. So basically what we're going to do here is we can throw out a Corruption just to kind of, get some damage over time if we want, but I don't particularly like doing that. It's got a long cast time. I mean, we could, but we want to cast Hand of Gul'dan and start summoning Imps. That's the main thing we want to spam here. And then we're going to have our Call Dreadstalkers as well, which we're going to cast. They do have a 20-second cooldown. We could get a reset, but generally we're going to throw out our Call Dreadstalkers for 2 Soul Shards. Then we want to start generating Soul Shards via Shadow Bolt and Demon Bolt. And we could also generate from Soul Strike as well. And then go into casting Hand of Gul'dan. So Hand of Gul'dan is 1 to 3 Soul Shards. So when we have 3 Soul Shards, we want to cast Hand of Gul'dan and start summoning Imps. That's basically, we just want to repeat that cycle. So looking through our build here, over on the class side, we really just pumped up Drain Life a lot. Over here, we've got the Dreadstalker's Dread Bite hits all targets and deals more damage. Felguard's going to deal more damage, take less damage. Our Dread Bite is going to cause the target to take more Shadow Flame damage from us. Hand of Gul'dan has a chance to give us a Demonic Core. Fellstorm and Dread Bite deal additional damage. Fellstorm cooldown is reduced. We will passively summon a Wild Imp, which should already be happening. And then we have a 10% chance to summon an additional demon to fight for us every 15 seconds. Shadow Bolt and Demon Bolt have a chance to make our next Call Dreadstalkers free and instant cast. Each soul shard spent on Hand of Gul'dan increases the damage of our next Call Dreadstalkers by 4%. Hand of Gul'dan deals additional damage and has a chance per soul shard to refund a soul shard. Each time Fellstorm deals damage, it increases the damage the target takes from us and the pets. Call Dreadstalkers has a 100% chance to summon an additional Dreadstalker. Shadow Bolt and Demon Bolt have a chance to reset the cooldown of Call Dreadstalkers. So, let's see. So reset the cooldown, and this one makes it free and have no... Okay, so this one makes it free and have no instant cast. This one has a chance to make it reset the cooldown so you can cast it sooner. Then our Felguard is going to deal additional damage, and Soul Strike is now going to hit in an AoE. While our Felguard is out, our Wild Imps and Dreadstalkers will have their haste and damage increased. When our Wild Imps cast Firebolt, they're going to gain us a stack of Stolen Power, and at 100%, our next Demon Bolt will hit super hard, and so will our next Shadow Bolt. And then Hand of Gul'dan has a chance to cast for free. So this is a lot of passive. You don't have to do anything. It's just more damage, more stuff. So it should be pretty straightforward in terms of rotation. We're going to have lots of flashy buttons, hopefully. And then just kind of figuring out when to hit those flashy buttons is going to be kind of the important part here. So we're going to open with Call Dreadstalkers, right? And then we want to generate Soul Shards. So we're going to hit Soul Strike first, and then we'll go into Shadow Bolt. I do believe... Let's see. I know I just read through this. I don't know... Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so let's go ahead and knock this out. All right, so we're going to call Dreadstalkers. Boom, that's going to send everybody in. We'll hit our Soul Strike. We're at 2. So we'll go ahead and Shadow Bolt. All right, we got 3 Soul Shards, so we'll Hand of Gul'dan. We do have the buff here for Call Dreadstalkers. We've got our instant cast free Demon Bolts. We got another one. We got another one. We got our Dreadstalkers. We got our Soul Strike. We are capped, so we need to Hand of Gul'dan. So managing the Soul Shards, we'll have to get that sorted out here. All right, so there. We'll Hand of Gul'dan. So we want to make sure that we're not capping on our Soul Shards here. And we are summoning as much as possible. Alright, Hand of Gul'dan again. Okay. It is really easy to generate soul shards with this build right now. This is pretty cool. I'm digging it. We are getting a lot of imps out. This is kind of insane. Man, this seems pretty rock solid if you ask me. I don't know why I cast Demon Bolt there. I kind of screwed that up there. We've got our Dimensional Rift too. We could throw that out. Wow, look at like how many times we are getting that free Demon Bolt cast. That is insane. Man, that's so good. Yes, look at how many imps. Like, are we capped on imps? How many imps do I even have out? And we got 11 stacks. I'm having so much fun with this rotation. I need to pay attention to what's actually going on mechanically here. Okay, we kind of hit a lull right there. Probably because I stopped really paying attention to what was going on in terms of the stuff in front of me. So what do we have here? Cast time of demonic core reduced. Alright, call Dreadstalkers will have their damage increased. Okay, so that's hitting for us. Damage done by wild imps increased. That's our soul leech. I don't know why I cast that. Ooh, demon bolts. Ooh, yep. I'm kind of messing with the rotation because I'm looking at buffs here. But you guys saw earlier the kind of rotation we were in. That feels really good. Definitely feels really good. Man, this is nuts. It is super easy to get a bunch of imps here. This is the kind of rotation I just like want to sit in all day. I'm not seeing an imp count though. That's like what's annoying me is I want to know how many imps I have. So I'm probably just gonna have to rewatch this video. And I do not need Demon Bolt there. So we lost some imps. We lost. Why am I doing it again? I'm hitting them. I'm just distracted. So many imps. Yeah, that's okay. Okay. I think we're done. I didn't notice if we were getting the were we getting this while you're wild? Oh yeah, we were. I saw the buff up there. Yeah, I did see the buff up there. It just takes a little while for it to stack. Calm down, imp. Calm down. Yeah, I feel really good about this. You know, like I said, Implosion is a great ability for just doing like mass damage against the target to finish it off if you need to. But I personally just like having a ton of imps, right? And with all the procs and stuff we were getting here, I could just see this just absolutely shredding stuff in open world content. So I'm pretty happy with where this build is right now. So we are going to take all the specializations out into a questing zone, do some quests, kill some level appropriate enemies and stuff like that to kind of test them out and see if we want to tweak or change the builds. We'll do that in a future video. I'm going to be doing those as live streams so you guys can come on and you can you know, provide your own feedback or ask questions or suggestions, point out things that I miss, etc. So hopefully, guys, you'll be able to tune in and enjoy that content. So this is the build that I have right now, and like I said, I'm fairly happy with where it is right now. I think with the addition of the 5 extra points in Demonology, we can get some pretty cool stuff going there. Yeah, we're gonna take this out and we'll test it. That's all I got for you in this video. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one.